Hello, hello. Welcome to Conquer the Chaos Streamers Experience. My name is Sean Laurie, and as a father of four and an entrepreneur, I want to give you guys different insights or tools each week from either myself, my wife, or others that will not only help you as an individual, but also as a parent conquer the chaos.
And hey guys, my name is Tiffany Lowry and I co host alongside my husband. I do wear many hats, and the two that I'm the most proud of is being a mother and a wife. And we have had many chaotic moments as a family and have somehow, some way always managed to conquer the chaos. And that's why I'm excited to be here with you guys to share some of our story.
Yes, yes. So, obviously, guys, like I talked about last week, right? We're on this theme of Mother May, and I want to celebrate all these wonderful mothers that I know, and let them share their stories and just really let you guys hear from their perspective. I really just want to celebrate the mothers because they do so much, right? And so today we are here with Virginia's very own shoot, she was helping the youth ministry for a while. She was doing that. Just had a wonderful, beautiful son a year ago.
Mm.
Um, yeah, give it up for well, they can't because I mean they can't clap, but I can clap for very own Sierra. And I ain't talking about the singer. I mean, she can sing. I'm not talking. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Tired, as usual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
Coffee.
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed and
Anytime.
highly favored. Holla, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but what I like to do a lot of times is an icebreaker.
Okay.
So just to get the jitters going,
Mm-hmm.
um, what is something you said you would never do as a parent that you catch yourself doing?
Mm. Planning his first birthday party. I'm doing that right now, and I swore I would never do that. I was putting together the goodie bags today, and I was like, I could have sworn me and Dion said we weren't gonna throw a first birthday party, and here I am
Here you
planning a
are.
first birthday party.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Hey, I understand. I said when we had our kids, I said I wouldn't be that I try not to be still, but I said I want to be that parent that always posts their kid
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like that's annoying at times. Like, oh, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can't help yourself sometimes, right?
Right? It's your kids.
Yeah, it's your kids. I
I'm
just
like, if I post him 3 days in a row, I'm like, people are probably sick of seeing him. I'm like, but he's so cute. He's so cute.
I'll tell you, we're not. I'm
Right?
not.
yeah, no, not at all. Keep posting,
Thank you.
keep posting. So, did you always, did you always want to be a mom? Like, is that something like you envisioned for yourself?
Yeah, it really was. I always thought I'd have two kids. Then I met Dion, and then I was like, okay, maybe three. Um, but yeah, ever since I was little, I like babysat, and I was like, oh, this
Mm,
is so easy. I could do this. It's not the same.
Yeah.
yeah,
Not the same, but it did help prepare me for it.
yeah. I was gonna say because yeah, obviously you did, you know, like I said, you was in the youth ministry and dealing with so many different kids. Is it different? Like obviously they were older, but is it just a different feeling working with them compared to like having your own little one?
um, Absolutely, because for me, like so many of them, I'm still so close to, and like they're my babies.
Yeah.
I've seen them grow up, but with DJ, I don't know. It's like I like just watching him. Like I'm not about to just sit here and watch them.
Yeah.
Like I'm not my kids like that.
Yeah.
But with DJ, I could just stare at him for hours, and I'm like, why is this so fascinating?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Understandable, understandable. I mean, obviously, it was what you're. Well, no, you said about to have a birthday. Oh no, did his birthday already pass?
Yeah. So his birthday was on Tuesday, and his birthday party is Saturday.
Okay, okay. So he's one now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like how I guess how was that process for you just the pregnancy, especially with the COVID restrictions and things
Hmm.
like that? Did you have to get epidural? how was that giving birth and just the whole
Mhm.
process, like either leading up to it or was it a smooth transition? How was that whole thing?
Yeah. So Dion had told me like the year before I got pregnant that he was ready to become a father, and I was like, okay. I actually, for the rest of that night, just was laughing hysterically, and I
Uh-huh.
couldn't figure out why. I was like, "That's so funny! Like, what do you mean you want to be a father?" But then a year later, I got pregnant, and my pregnancy was pretty good. I didn't get too much. Like, I wasn't sick. I felt pretty good. I was really just like bored because I felt like I mean, it was also COVID, so I'm like, I can't really do anything right now, so I'm
Yeah.
just sitting around. Um, so my actual pregnancy was pretty smooth. It was cool. It was weird. Like his kicks were really strong.
Yeah.
Like one time I literally fell off the couch because like he made me
Oh,
jump so hard because I was like I didn't know what the heck that was. Um but yeah, overall my pregnancy was pretty smooth, and then I decided to have a home birth. I actually
Mm.
wanted to have a home birth since I was like 16 years old. I always was like, that's exactly what I would want to do one day, because I had seen like in my parenting and child development class, they were showing like all the different ways to give birth, and the woman who was like in the tub, she just seemed like she was so relaxed. I was like, I'm trying to be like her. All these
Yeah.
other ladies are screaming their heads off, and she just looks like she's having a good old time. Um, so that was that's what I envisioned for my labor, but that's not what I got. DJ ended up getting stuck on my pelvic bone, so I was in labor for 32 hours, um, all natural, at home,
The
passing out.
day.
But it was truly it was crazy. Um, but overall, my pregnancy was really smooth. I'm like, there's no reason I won't do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
geez, crazy. 32 hours. You didn't
Yeah.
do 32 hours. Your
I
ours
I
was
don't
pretty
know.
quick.
Shondell was quick. Camille
Mhm.
wasn't.
Mm,
And then no, Linnea was, remember?
Oh,
Linnea got
Linnea.
stuck. She was stuck on
mhm,
my side and
mm.
she wouldn't drop. And I remember they gave me this stupid little like they called it like a
Oh,
peanut.
Oh
And they
yeah.
made me like get on all four. It was just terrible. After her, I was like, no more. And then
Mhm.
Shiloh.
He
he
said,
was
"Just
bad.
kidding."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's still times when I'm like, I can probably do it again, but
Mhm.
this guy.
No, no. We have four. That's good enough. Um, so like you said, that was obviously not what you expected with the
Mhm.
32 hours.
Mhm. Mhm.
But just how, I guess, like that experience, like that moment, like when you look back at it, like how was that for you?
When I look back at that moment, it's like one of those moments where when I'm mad at Dion, it's one of those moments you look back on, because I'm like,
Mm,
in that moment we were so like connected. Like he was
mm,
by my side the whole entire time. I feel like it was really a spiritual experience, because there's no way for me to get through 32 hours without fully leaning on God, because
Mhm.
yeah.
I was literally like, God, please put me out of my misery. I can't do this no more.
That's I think that's a funny thing. Nobody can um prepare you for the contractions.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like I know I've had friends ask me like, "Oh, what do contractions feel like?" I'm like, "Period cramps times like a billion."
Yeah. Yeah, and all of my contractions were in my back. Um,
Mhm.
Mm,
and
Mm.
so that, ooh, ooh, I didn't know that my contractions were supposed to be in my stomach, because this was my first baby. I thought this
Yeah.
was normal. I was like, oh well, the next time if I just have a normal like delivery, I could do that.
Yeah.
That's easy. It's not easy, but it's easier.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now I have a sorry,
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Now I have a question for you. How was the home birth? Because it was like, I think I've seen like pictures before. Is it
Mhm.
in like water? Like how is that?
So you basically have the option when you're giving birth at home to have your baby wherever you want to in your house,
Mm.
or outside your house. Because I was walking around my apartment complex and I was like, I need to push, and they're like,
Yeah,
okay, push. I didn't have him outside, but it was an option.
that was an option.
I had planned to have him in a tub, so they give you like a inflatable pool,
Mm.
and then you just fill it up, and then we actually weren't able to have him in the water because it was taking so long, and um, every time I sat in the water, it just like slowed things down. So I ended up actually having him on my bed, and Dion was like sitting behind me, helping me push. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. all
Wow.
of, all of a sudden they were like, "Here's your baby," and me and Dion are both like, "Nasty baby."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's y'all both better than me. I'll be honest. I can't do it. It'll gross me out. Ah!
I'm gonna be honest, it was nasty. One of my first thoughts was, "He smells crazy."
I know, and then they take him just
Mhm.
put him right on you, fresh out.
Man.
That's crazy. Yeah, because I always wonder too, like, well, obviously you guys weren't in a tub. I'm like, how does that work with the tub? Like, you gotta literally drain it out. Like, just seems nasty. I ain't gonna lie.
They have like the fishing nets, like
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
they have those to help clean the water. Yep.
Oh,
that's exciting. So for those that wanna
that's so
do,
interesting to me though.
yeah, if you ever, I guess, what was it? What would it be called? Natural water birth? What's the
Mhm.
actual term?
Just home birth.
Home birth?
Yeah.
Home, yeah, we'll
Homework,
just go with
water,
that.
yeah,
Water birth, home birth.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah,
That's pretty cool then. So you got Dion cut like the umbilical cord and all that?
yeah. He said that it was not what he was expecting at all. He said that it was like hard. He was like,
Oh yeah, it is.
he
Yeah.
thought he thought the scissors were just gonna like sit, but it was like,
Wow. That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. So do you guys plan on after that whole experience, do you guys plan on having more in the future or are you guys one and done?
Yeah, we'll definitely try for more in the
Okay.
future. Probably like in a year or two. Give
Okay.
DJ a little time to be the only one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah,
I knocked mine all out about 2 years,
man.
pretty much. So
Yeah, I remember. I was there.
oh yeah, I know. Seemed like it was always
I know. I think I told Sean, I was like, by the time I'm 30, I don't want to have any more kids after I'm 30. And then I think that was when, I think after my 30th birthday was when I found out that I was pregnant with Shiloh. And I was like,
Mhm.
well, God, I guess you gave me what I asked for.
Right.
yeah.
You know what's funny is that's what I say too. Um, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be 31 and be like, I'm having another baby. What?
You're not over there. Gotcha.
For real. Dion would have a whole basketball team if he could.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, like, what's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself being a mother? And I know your mom is a huge part of your life as well, and just the
Mhm.
different things that you've seen. The things she's done for you and things like that. What's like probably the biggest part that you've learned about yourself?
The biggest thing that I probably learned about myself is that I am capable of controlling my emotions more than I think I can.
Mm,
Because sometimes, like, I can feel out of control in my emotions, but I'm like, what good does it do it to like scream at a screaming baby?
yeah,
Like he's like up in the middle of the night screaming.
Yeah.
Okay, now if I'm upset, then he don't care.
yeah,
It just screams louder.
yeah,
Yeah. And I always thought about that, like the verse that says like we have the spirit of like self-control.
Mhm.
Um, and I was always like, yeah, sure. But I feel like I've had to really learn how to exercise that more.
Mm,
Yeah.
I like that.
hmm
Do you have I guess, a greater appreciation for your mom, like, now that you are a mom?
Absolutely. She told me one time that I was like I kept getting out of my car seat and she was just like so mad that she dropped me off at my godparents' house that night and was like, "You deal with her. She's driving me nuts." And I'm like, now a year later, I can understand why
Yeah,
she might feel that way.
yeah, yeah. It's
There's
understandable.
been days where DJ's going crazy and I'm like, he could really use some time with his grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what you're saying is true, just seeing, like, how, as Tiffany kept having my kids, seeing how it affected her as far as, is definitely can be draining, tiring. Obviously, it changes your body, right? All these different changes that as women you guys deal with. And it's one of those things, right? And as I look back and I'm like, dang, okay, certain things I did, that could upset my mom and things like
Mhm,
that. Um, and it's like, dang, like, because as the mother, you guys are nurturing, you birthed us, right? And pretty much you guys are always are looking out for us constantly.
mhm,
And so as kids, especially, I'll be honest too, a lot of times, not all, but a lot of times with sons, like, we start doing our own thing.
mhm,
And so it's just crazy to see, like, okay, mom, I'm leaving,
mhm.
and they're like, well, I've been taking care of you for 18 years.
Yeah.
Now you're just leaving. So I can
Mhm,
only imagine, just for the guys, right? They're like, all right, cool.
mhm.
Not another bill. I'll see you later.
Right.
So it's just when I think about it like that, like, that's pretty crazy. See, now that's a long ways away, of course, for DJ.
Yeah.
But
I've already cried of thinking about it.
yeah, I was gonna say, knowing you, you probably already broke down crying
Yeah.
about it. Hasn't even happened. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
don't leave.
Man, thinking about him having his first girlfriend, his first day of
Oh,
school, I just I'm a mess.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not ready for Shiloh to hit that mark yet. I'm like, he's still the baby. I still have him. Even now, he's like clinging on to him, and I'm like, but love me. I gave birth to you.
Right? Man, it's so offensive when he doesn't want me and he wants Dion.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
It's offensive.
yeah,
How dare you?
Man, 32 hours, bruh. 32
yeah,
hours.
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's what I think about, like, just for especially as moms, and then, like you said, dating.
Mhm.
Um, Tiffany was like freaking out the other day because Lania had her friend call, and her friend wanted to talk to Junior more than her,
Mm,
and she was just shaking her head like, "What are we doing? It's already starting. Like, stop it. Like, why is she so focused on him?"
that is hilarious.
I know. And then the other day, Shondell was at school, and when he came home, he was like, "Oh yeah, I can't remember the little girl's name, but he was like, yeah, I told her she was pretty," and I was like, "You like her?" And he
Mm.
was like, "No, I just wanted to be nice," and I was like, "Okay."
That's funny. I would have been like, not prettier than mommy though, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
She's not good enough.
Right?
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm already knowing DJ's
Man.
gonna have it hard with you and your mom. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
yeah.
It's gonna be a lot. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, I guess, but as we close out, like, what would you say? I mean, you did obviously the water birth, but just from what you've heard and things like that, would you do that again? Or
Mhm.
is it something that it was just a one-time thing? And if so, what is um something, I guess, or even if you don't, just as someone that's thinking about a mom that's listening, what is like the best advice you can give them that have never, it's something new, right? Like
Yeah.
most people go to the hospital. So what is like a tip or something you can give them to kind of prepare them for that?
I would say that women have been the like mindset that I went into it with was women have been giving birth since the beginning of time. Um, Before they were doctors, they just would crouch down and catch their babies. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, so I can do this. And I think that sometimes it can be a little intimidating to know that when you're at home, you can only rely on your own body. You can't really rely on an epidural or a C-section or anything else. And
Yeah.
so just trusting your body, just knowing, like, giving yourself those positive affirmations of I can do this, and like never getting to a point of saying I can't do this because the like I said, millions of women, billions of women have done this.
Yeah.
So just trust what your body was made to do. Um, and yeah, don't be scared. There's so many resources. There's like videos on YouTube. Um, and when you give birth at home, you're allowed to eat. And you're not
Really?
allowed to eat in the hospital. So that
Mm.
was another key factor as to why I wanted to have my baby at home, because I was like, you're not about to tell me I can't eat. That's what
Yeah.
I'm about to
That's
do.
interesting. Yeah, because in the hospital they don't let you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't eat.
yeah.
Well, they probably don't want you using the restroom, right? Or something like that on yourself.
I think it's so, like, if you have to get a C-section, you don't throw up during surgery.
Oh.
I don't know. I really don't know what it is.
Mm.
I could have made that up. Don't quote me.
Now that's my other question too. Is there like a certain requirement? Because obviously some women have to get C-sections.
Mhm.
So is there a certain requirement like where you just because like you said, well, I'm assuming and when you're giving birth at home, they're not necessarily doing a C or they can't do a C-section. I don't know how that works. You can educate
Um,
me on that. But I was just wondering like if there's a where you have to meet certain criteria or something like that.
so you have to, a lot of times, if you are a high risk patient, you have to go with a doctor, but there are doctors who will come to your house still. I
Mm.
actually ended up having to have a doctor come. I had a midwife, but I had a doctor come section him out because he was stuck for so long.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, you just have to be low risk, and you have to make it to 35 weeks, I think.
Mm.
Okay.
Whenever you're like considered safe to give birth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, that's really it. Yeah,
Okay. Good. And you said you would do it again?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
because everyone keeps telling me that next time it'll be easier. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm trusting you. But
It's like 50 hours. You're like, it's your fault.
man,
That's funny. I guess you have any questions or anything? Whole
No,
time.
you're braver than me. I was one of those in the hospital. I think with Linnea, I think I was crying. I was like, "Give me a C-section. I just want a C-section." And they were like, "No, we can't give you a C-section." I was like, "Ah." So
really,
yeah,
And the epidural didn't work for you either.
not with Shondell. No.
man.
Yeah, I had it with Camille, and
Mhm,
I tried to get it with Shondell, and it wouldn't work. And they were gonna stick me again, and he
mhm.
was like, "No."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I didn't have it for
You
the
have a
last 3.
yeah.
So
yeah. There was a point in my labor where I was like, I understand why people get an epidural. I really do. If it was available to me right now, I would be like, come on, let's get that thing going.
yeah. But I think the main difference with that, because I do know with Camille, when they would tell me to push, I literally could not feel anything
Hmm.
down there, and I didn't like how that felt
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
So I think that's the main like difference I think for me is
Hmm.
having that epidural, like you feel like you're paralyzed like
Yeah.
all the way down. So
Yeah, I have heard that's crazy.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't relate, but that sounds crazy. I'm like, sheesh. But yeah,
wouldn't want to be me.
Oh man, but that I mean, I definitely just appreciate you sharing your story and sharing that. So for the moms out there or soon to be moms that watches or listens, definitely that's something you guys should listen to. Give it, yeah, do your research on maybe giving birth on at home.
Mhm.
Sierra did it, and Sierra is tiny, you guys. She's small.
4'11".
Yes, 4'11". Okay, and I don't know, 90 pounds. I'm not sure, but but if she can do it, I know you guys can do it as well. So, yeah, I definitely just appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
guys.
much, so much. So guys, before we close out, like always, well, first make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, A Dreamer's Ambition, on the podcast. Subscribe. It's on all platforms. But like always, guys, so before we go, I just want to remind you as parents to keep being an inspiration, never downplay the impact that you have on your loved ones so you can conquer the chaos. See you guys next week.
Bye.